Kimberly Grant of Grant Law Office, and my co-counsel, Benjamin Crump. We have the honor of representing the West family. Let me start by saying this, is that I don't think anybody here standing here today want to be here today, and myself included. This is not just a representation for me of a client, but also a representation of my family member. I was related to Jada. Family, we are cousins, Mom and I. On March 5th, these parents received news, information no parent want to receive about what happened to their child. An innocent 12-year-old who only wanted to go to school, Jada, who was subjected to things that children should never be subjected to my understanding, reports that some bullying before, and especially on the day in question. We got a video circulating, and you can see from Jada's position that she did not want to fight anybody. She was concerned about why this person bothered her. It's my understanding the person who she ultimately got into an altercation with was, 2 years older than her in a higher grade. But we're not here to necessarily talk about that incident. We were here to talk about how this incident hopefully should have been avoided and how moving forward incidents like this don't occur. I'll be the first to tell you, and I think the attorneys over to my left will also tell you that we don't know everything. We do know we got a 12-year-old that should be here today, and we want to find out why she's not here. If it was some negligence by the school system, the bus driver, or anybody alike, or intentional act, we don't know. We are currently seeking that information through different channels. The law firms, my law firm, as well as Crump Law Firm, as well as the Grant Law Firm, is working in connection to find out the answers. We could never, ever, in any capacity, get justice for the West family because we can't go back in time and stop what happened that day. That's the only way we can get true justice. But hopefully we get some measure of justice for them, that they would be a beacon of hope that no other parent had to stand before anybody talking about the loss of the child, a pain that cannot be described. I represent people all over the nation, and this is a fraternity that nobody wants to be a part of. With that being said, we're going to take some questions here, but I want to kind of open up. Standing to my right is Rashonda West. This is Jada's mother. And to my left by his counsel is Mr. Jeremy West, Jada's father. That being said, I'm going to have Mr. Griggs come up and speak. We're going to do it at the end. Have Mr. Griggs come up and speak.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for everyone that is here. This is a situation that no one wants to find themselves in. We've been here before. I've stood here before and stated this unequivocally. Georgia has a bullying problem. Georgia has an accountability problem. And unfortunately, Jada will have to be the beacon of light to the entire state. And so I'm honored to stand here with her mother and her father and all the lawyers, but I'm disheartened that we are here again. You know, about 12 years ago, we sounded the alarm that Georgia has a bullying problem. And my hope is that the General Assembly would change the law to provide for more accountability in these situations. Unfortunately, they have not. But now there's an opportunity to get accountability because, as Attorney Daniels has said, as all the attorneys have said, true justice would be Jada being with us and not us talking about Jada. But given that the General Assembly is currently in session, they can do something about this. No more parents have to fear putting their child on a school bus and your child not coming back home. That's the worst feeling you could possibly have as a parent. But what I'm asking for the state of Georgia to do is a couple things. One, be fair, honest, and transparent about what happened before, during, and after the incident on the bus. And secondly, let's change some laws. Let's allow for transparency and accountability in the state of Georgia. You know, a lot of politicians on the political trail right now. I'm charging them to say Jada's name, to carve out legislation that prevents this from happening, to allow for accountability for school districts that ignore bullying reports, because it's incumbent that this should stop here. So what we're calling for is a transparent investigation where you provide the evidence and allow this family to get some sense of accountability and change the law. Because true justice for Jada, again, would be her being here. Accountability means legal change and holding folks accountable. So as one of the attorneys for the family, again, I really didn't want to be here this morning because we've been here before, but it's time for this to stop and this be the last child that we have to stand before the people of Georgia and ultimately the people of this country and say, we have a bullying problem and it should stop now. Thank you.
Okay. Justice for Jada.
Justice for Jada.
Justice for Jada. Justice for Jada. We're gonna take some questions here. I would ask to be respectful to the family. I don't ask any questions of Ms. McClendon or Mr. West at this time. You obviously know they're going through a lot. It's taken a lot of strength for them just to stand here. But if you have any questions, feel free to.
Have you filed any intent to file a lawsuit against Douglas County Schools?
No, that is not the purpose right now. We have sought open records. My understanding to get information about what transpired that day is public records, subject to any confidentiality dealing with children. I'm sure you understand that records dealing with children is very confidential, and there's certain process and procedures need to go through in order to get certain records. But we have reached out, to my understanding, reached out to the school system to get some information about what transpired that day.
How far do you think the bullying went back, and do you know any specifics on it?
Well, right now, I'm going to refrain from asking that question specifically, how far it went back. We do know it was occurring. I think that one thing that was very illuminated within the video, one of the children there made a comment that to the effect that people know about me, you know. So that puts us in a position that, you know, maybe that's some bullying issue. But I know that Jada was subject to it. She was new to the school, new to the community. She had just moved there. So she was a new kid on the block. So we do know that it has been some reports of bullying before all this transpired. To the extent, we're going to refrain from answering that this time.
Any reason to believe the bus driver may have had, or the bus company may have had liability here?
Well, that's a legal question, and we need transparency to find out exactly what transpired before we start making accusations and accusing others. But we are exploring every angle. I assure you we won't leave nothing we're going to check everything. We're going to check everything and see exactly what transpired. If that leads to any lawsuits being filed, particularly against any individual or the school system, we won't hesitate to do so.
Were there any complaints filed with the school or the district beforehand?
What do you mean complaints?
Bullying complaints.
I believe those were. Directly with the school.
Do you know what active investigations are going on right now? Is there a death investigation, or is the school district actively investigating this as well?
Well, clearly it's an active investigation going on, particularly what transpired and what happened to Jada, obviously. When you have somebody that's passes as a result of some type of incident, altercation, there's going to be some type of investigation going on. It's not, you just don't sweep something like this on the rug. So I'm sure that there's an investigation that's currently ongoing with the Douglas County District Attorney's Office and the Douglas County Sheriff's Office.
Have you been able to obtain the autopsy report yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
You did mention possible negligence by the school system and by the bus driver.
Well, I didn't say possible negligence. I said we don't know yet. But go ahead and ask your question.
Well, I mean, it does hint at some, you're raising suspicion. Could you tell us what's behind?
Well, obviously, when you see your children in school, you have the school has a responsibility. The school bus is an extension of the classroom, particularly when you have things that give rise and foreseeability, particularly some things that could transpire. A school bus is just like a common carrier, and I don't want to get too much in the legalese, but they have a heightened level of standard of care, particularly to make sure that their passengers are safe. The most safe passengers that we want to make sure is safe, our most endeared passengers are our children. So when you have an incident,
Attorneys for the family of Jada West say they are in the fact-gathering phase right now of that investigation. More on this to come later today, and we'll see you in just a few seconds over right here.